Surfaces you touch every day. Gas pumps, money, phones, steering wheels, debit cards, all covered in bacteria. Or are they? We tested them all. Each and every item. We followed the rules that our partners at Key Laboratories gave us. Dip, swab, contain. We dropped them off at the lab, and we waited 48 hours for the results, and to our surprise, well, we'll get back to those. But first, let's introduce you to Melissa Bulazar. She's the president of Key Laboratories. She conducted the testings of the items that we swabbed and even did her own test for good reason. We'll tell you why a little later. And as every good scientist does, she had a hypothesis. She expected
the currency would be the dirtiest item.
But that wasn't what we found. In fact, that $20 bill she tested, clean as a whistle. Not one single bacteria colony was found growing on the petri dish.
I was expecting maybe into the thousands or maybe millions. I had no idea because I had never swabbed currency before, but I was just expecting high numbers.
Her hypothesis wasn't wrong, though. The U.S. National Library of Medicine says money is one of the dirtiest things that we will ever touch, with millions of bacteria colonies. And in case you're wondering what a colony is, she explains.
A colony is made up of millions of cells of bacteria, and they form a colony, and that's how you actually visually see it on a petri dish.
The next dirtiest item, well, it wasn't so dirty either. Coming in as the fourth cleanest item, her cell phone with just 10 bacteria colonies. And that is low. The Library of Medicine recently found more than 17,000 bacteria colonies on the phones of high school students. Bulazar thinks that maybe because of COVID concerns, we might be cleaning them more often.
Everyone's more diligent in paying attention to every single thing that they're touching.
Let's keep this countdown going. Coming in as the third dirtiest item, the steering wheel. Just 30 bacteria colonies, also a low number. The National Center for Biotechnology Information says you can expect about 670 bacteria colonies growing on your steering wheel. The fourth dirtiest item, the gas pump, just 170 colonies. That is beyond super low. Just a year ago, the website EcoWatch found on average more than 2 million bacteria colonies on gas pumps that it tested. There may be a reason for why our test found such a low number.
When they're pumping their own gas, they're wearing gloves, or, they have just put hand sanitizer on, So I think everyone is, compounding the practice of sterilizing everything.
And the dirtiest item we tested, Bulazar's debit card, with 1,000 bacteria colonies growing on it. The reason she thinks that is,
I don't know if maybe sticking it inside the machines, and so many other people are doing that same thing, and there's, contamination inside the actual machines, or I don't know exactly why, but that was the hot spot on the items that I swabbed.
We couldn't find a national average for debit cards, but the theme of our testing was cleanliness is alive and well in central Illinois. Oh, and remember those items that I swabbed myself? Well, when taken to the lab and tested, not a single bacteria colony grew on them. I'd like to believe that we're pretty clean around here, or maybe it was just science.
It's just like, that's the nature of science. Sometimes the experiments work and sometimes they don't.
While our testing did not test for the coronavirus, it was a good example of how important good hygiene is.
I mean, even after this epidemic is over, hopefully everyone will still keep in the back of their minds to be conscious of everything that they touch.
And that could be a good thing, as the way we live is changing amid a pandemic. Indicator Chris Carter, WAND News.